Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be teaching you on how to pad your bustier to give a neat finishing and to look seamless, just as the one on this video. As you can see, the bustier on this video is looking so seamless and perfect. So I'll be teaching you today on how to pad it for you to look this seamless. If today is your first time of coming across my channel, please do like and subscribe. Thank you. So guys, we're going to be using this white light wording. If you have a thicker one, you can use it too. Mine is actually very light, so that's the reason why I have to double my own in the course of when I'm cutting mine. So first of all, you fold it to the size of your center front bust. See my fabric, I've actually interfaced the fabric at the back of the fabric with my stay. I actually use stay to interface it, then I'll fold it back. This is actually the center front of the cloth. So I've actually notched the bust point and the under bust. So I'm going to place my fabric on my wording from the under bust, just as I'm doing like this. You have to do your own just as I'm doing my like this. Then you take your tape rule and take out 1 inch from the tip of from the top of your fabric. That 1 inch is to make it not to budge after sewing. So that means that's 1 inch you're going to cut from that 1 inch. Just look at what I'm doing, you understand what I'm trying to explain here. So after placing everything in order the way you want, you now cut off. Just watch as I'm going to cut it out. Sorry, my hand was blocking the view, but you can see I actually cut on that 1 inch. I cut out on that 1 inch, then I now had to cut with the exact shape to the under bust. Just look at how I'm cutting it, you understand better. So after cutting it, see, I actually had to notch my bust point, so when I'm joining it, it will not be difficult to identify the bust points. You know, when you notch your bust points and while sewing, you make sure that both the side front and the center front bust points aligns. So here, this is optional. You can decide to curve it this way, or you can decide not to curve it this way. You can decide to leave it straight like that, but remember, if you should cut it this way, remember to notch the up part of your wording. So here I told you I was going to double my wording because it's light. The wording is a light wording and I want it a bit thicker, so I'm going to double it. That's why I'm cutting it into 2. But if you have a line that is way thicker than mine, you can actually cut a piece. Or if you even have this bra foam, you can actually just cut one and use that instead. Get? So here now I had to use minus 0.75 from my listing. Remember to notch, because I don't want it to be at the edge of my fabric. So I want my edge of my fabric to just be plain, and I will just sew on it. You will see it when I'm done cutting it. As I said, remember to notch the up of your center bust wording, just like I did here. That notch signifies that is on the upper part of the cup. So here now I'm trying to cut the second wording as I told you before, so I had to repeat that. So here now I'm going to now cut exactly the shape I cut in the first one, just like this, just like I did with this. So don't mind me, I'm trying to get the exact place I should cut on, so I will not waste my wording. So now I'm going to place it and cut exactly that shape for the center front. I told you, you will know the reason why I had to cut out 0.75 inches from my initial pattern. You get. So remember to notch. I'm trying to notch there, although I did it off the camera mistakenly, but I was just trying to notch the upper part of the wording for the upper part of the dress. So now I'm done cutting the center front. You see how I'm placing it now. That was the reason why I cut out that 0.75, because I did not want it to reach the edge of the fabric. Have you seen? I gave space for the sewing of the fabric. This is actually a perfect way you can actually sew your bra up and it will not budge on the same line after sewing. So this is for the center front. Now we're going to be cutting the side front. So you still have to fold your fabric and repeat the same process we did the other time. Make sure your your wording does not reach the armhole. You understand? You can see how I use my hand to trace it. I'm trying to smoothen them, to straighten up the wording so it will be straight for me to cut the center front. So after doing that, I've placed it same way I did on the center front. I place it from the under bust, and then I make sure it does not reach the armhole. You see, I'm using my hand to show how I want the side I want it to be on. I actually had to adjust it a bit. So when I actually cut the place that I made that's as if it will reach the armhole, I'll actually trace it. I'll actually cut out a bit from it. So that's how I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'll go down by 1 inch. Remember, going down by 1 inch is to make sure that when we are sewing when we actually iron down the wording, it will not be on top of my fabric, so to prevent bulging after joining into the lining. So remember to notch your bust points as we also did in the center front. Now I know that my wording is looking straight. Now this is how I curved it. What I told you earlier, I'll curve a bit from the armhole, and it will now give me that kind of cup shape, So now I'm also notching the upper parts as we did in the front, in the center front. We are notching it so that we will know the upside of the bust. So you see. So after this, I'll also remove 0.75. I actually explained what we are going to do to it. If you don't still understand, I'm removing the 0.75 to be able to give space for my stitching allowance. I don't want to stitch the wording together with the allowance because I want a smooth bustier. I don't want it to bulge. Sometimes when you sew it on top together, most times it bulges. But if you don't want it to bulge and still be able to stand well, just do this thing out this way. You just have to cut off the 0.75 actually, although it will be at the end of the day when you gum it down, you're actually going to sew 0.5, but because it sometimes stretches out, so I tend to go in by 0.25 extra. That's in total of 0.75 inches. So now I'm trying to cut the second one. As I told you, I'm doubling my wording because of my wording is actually very, very light. So I'm actually repeating the same process as I did on my center front for my side front. Now see, you see why I actually remove 0.75, so that I can be able to join it without the wording entering the same allowance. Now I actually went to my machine, my the ironing table, and I've ironed down the wording like this. And I'm actually going, you see that space, that's where I'm going to sew. I actually use um gums, what's this called, gum, this gum stay, to iron it, to like make it stay down, because this my wording gum is not strong enough. So you use gum stay to hold it. And now I've actually joined it. Have you seen how the cup is standing? I've not even ironed it out, I just joined it. Imagine. So after this now, and it's standing. When I now iron it perfectly and open the seam, you will see how lovely it will be looking. Like, doesn't it's looking seamless and beautiful. Can you see that? It have not even been ironed yet. It's looking so perfect. I'm giving you time to look at it very well. So here I've actually ironed it down, and look at how it's looking perfect and seamless. You can decide to sew it like this without adding a bra cup, or you can decide to add a bra cup. For me, I actually add more bra cup for fullness, because my client does not have too much bust, so I want her bust to look bigger. So I'm going to add another bra cup to make it fuller.